nerdsreviews.com presents Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Yo, we talk about lightsabers, stunning your TV screens, what you want to stream, everything beyond your dreams. Want to talk about movies, sports, or even politics? Go ahead and tune into us, we'll give you all of it. Whatever you're debating, Xbox or PlayStation, Marvel or DC, Mac or PC. Teraflops when the movie drops, gigabytes, chips, RAM, no matter what it is, we got all of it. Welcome to the show.
Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Welcome to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm Lafayette. I'm here with your usual suspects, Carlos.
Hello.
Johnny.
Hey.
And Hugh McCord.
What up?
I want to say Hugh's last name because it's the coolest name in the bunch. And our special guest is from the podcast. You guys should check this out. It's called Let's Get It on Film with Lauren and Kate. Now, who gets top billing, Lauren or Kate?
I think we actually usually go by Kate and Lauren.
All right. So Lauren and Kate.
Do we?
There.
You can have it.
Way to screw that up right out of the gate, Lafayette.
Yeah. So
out of the gate.
The podcast is called Let's Get It on Film. I'm assuming it's not a podcast strictly about Marvin Gaye. No. Okay.
I would definitely listen to that. That would be worthwhile.
I mean, a podcast strictly about the one song? How many podcasts can you have on that?
You'd be surprised about how deep a dive you can go, and people will still listen.
Well, that's true. You can actually deep dive anything, really.
Yeah.
You could take a song like Beat It, and they can mean numerous things. But Lauren and Kate, explain your show to our audience so they can get an idea of what your podcast is about.
Well, Kate usually does the intro, so I don't know if I can accurately describe it. We call ourselves a film all about the sexiest love scenes in film and television. We do in-depth research and discussion into scenes that are really just about two people or more people, really, any amount of people boning on screen.
Yeah, we've had this conversation before on our show.
Never talked about it at all.
Yeah.
Either.
Yeah, we talked about
No.
a couple episodes ago about sex in film. Yeah. I guess hopefully everybody has questions. You know, you can ask about. My first question, I guess, for both of you is, what you consider the most graphic sex scene on film?
That's interesting because it's interesting you didn't open with best.
Not best.
I
not
was going
best.
to.
I'm not gonna go best because
I was going to.
graphic grabs attention. You know what I mean?
I guess. I
was gonna say, it's funny. I was gonna say best. But best is subjective, really. So is there a scene where you watch and go, maybe that's on the edge, that's right there on the cusp of put that in the adult section of the blockbuster?
Anything with prosthetic genitalia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think is like, why is this in a movie? What's the point?
Yeah.
I can only think of one movie that stands out. That's Boogie Nights.
Yep.
Boogie Nights, yeah.
But is there other ones that you come to mind when it comes to that prosthetic?
There was one that I was watching purely for research purposes that had I can curse on this show, right?
You can say whatever the hell you want.
So it had a prosthetic pussy and it was like underneath a faucet, and it was
Say that again.
It was someone
The faucet part. You mean the faucet? He meant the
faucet part.
Yeah.
It was someone masturbating in a bathtub. And
What movie was this?
it was some sort of indie lesbian film.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would have never found it, but email me later the name. Go ahead.
But they come up more than you'd think. At any time there's like we talked about one. We
Blue
talked
is
about
the warmest
socks
color, right?
That too. We talked about blue is the warmest color. We talked about that having prosthetic pussies as well. But I was thinking of the thongs that guys wear that just cover up everything in one little tiny sack.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The famed cock sock.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Very
Yes,
amused
yes,
by that,
yes.
by the way. Just amused.
You're amused by the cocksock?
No, just the fact that it's like so tiny. It's like, where did he go? He just went away.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then they
That
they
just
put
disappeared.
in all the details in post, you know.
Yeah, a little CGI never hurts.
Yeah.
I
Um,
remember.
okay, next. Okay, let's. I already. So, what's your most what's the most graphic scene of a? I'm gonna put it this way: of a like major motion picture, like what you would call a Hollywood, you know, not a blockbuster per se, but everybody would know the movie.
Graphic is again kind of an odd criteria. I think we've dealt with we did deal with Blue is the Warmest Color. I think that's probably the most famous because it has something like a 7-minute scene of uninterrupted, well, not uninterrupted, edited sex. And that really made headlines, not just for the fact that it was so much sex on screen, but also the actors didn't really like doing it, which is kind of a shame. When you get into these sorts of like scenes, you want to make sure that everyone's having a good time behind the scenes too.
In that case, what is the best?
So that's a little easier to answer, I think. Kate, why don't you start? Because you brought, I think, one of the best in our first episode.
I did. We tackled iconic sex scenes right off the bat. And so I pulled Titanic, which is PG-13. So it's not a very graphic scene, but it's very sexy. And everyone has that same image whenever you say, oh, the sex scene in the car in Titanic, which is like the foggy window in the hand. And it's not like, graphic bumping and grinding, and not everyone's totally nude or whatever, but it is deeply sexy and playful and just all the things you want out of like actual sex in your life. And there's an interesting power dynamic going on. And so that's the sort of thing we like to get into, which is, maybe by nature of the fact that I'm a woman, that's kind of the thing that I'm into. I'm not really necessarily after graphic, but those little details that make it really sexy and are more relatable to my life. And I can project myself into that image and say, oh yeah, that's what I want to be doing right there, which is not something that I necessarily do with something that's very graphic, because I'm like, yeah, I know what actual sex is like, and movies strip away the weirdness and the awkwardness and the sort of humanness of actual sex. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, it's
and
like
the tackiness and the fluids and all of the reality.
Yeah, they're
not necessarily so.
Yeah,
fun.
they paint more of, like you said, more of, I guess you could say, the sexy side of sex. The highlights. Like, you wish your sex was an ESPN highlight. These are the good parts, everyone.
Yeah,
exactly. Like, and I guess that's what makes a good sex scene. I mean, I would assume.
Well, we actually have a criteria for determining a good sex scene.
Break it down.
Exactly, because there's so many different parts. And when we were starting this podcast, we came up with, what's important and what is not necessarily shouldn't be forgotten in a sex scene, but doesn't necessarily make it like great. So we have soundtrack is number one. We have timing, how something utilizes its time effectively. We have, oh God, I always get the acronym wrong, Kate, even in the episodes, and it's not a joke.
Authenticity.
Authenticity, thank you. Because sometimes the most authentic sex isn't necessarily the sexiest. We also have heat, and we have production value. So altogether, that is our stop scale. As in stop, it's just so sexy.
Heat meaning passion, right? Heat meaning passion?
Yes, heat as in intensity.
Right.
Yeah, how hot it is. That's we really took the time to design this scale to address all the things we wanted to talk about. We went to film school, so coming at it from like that academic, intellectual perspective of people who really like film and television and wanting to talk about things like the formal elements, the lighting and the framing, the cinematography, whatever, that kind of thing, the editing. And then also from the other side, which is just the horn dog perspective, which we like talking about this because it's sexy and it's fun for us and it's a good hobby. So that's where we kind of introduce both of those sides where we can say part of what makes this hot is this really, really sexy actor, and we're so glad they're naked and we get to see it. And then the other part is like, oh, but also that editing choice was so hot.
See, it's more in depth than people would probably think. But let's shoot around the horn. Hugh, you have a question?
Well, no, there's so many things I would love to touch on. You already hit it, because I mean, if I'm breaking it into categories, passion is absolutely one of them. Compatibility, whether they look like they actually are enjoying each other, because there've been so many scenes and so many movies where, especially you read afterwards, to nobody's surprise, they didn't like each other at all. It didn't work. Compatibility was bad. Editing, I think, I'm speechifying a little bit, but editing, having acted and having directed, it's so cut up, and you two know this, how cut up it is, that sometimes you'll see scenes well, we talked about Monsters Ball, which it looked like there were times where the camera was hiding and they were just allowed to go and not be interrupted with cutaways. Hey, okay, done, cut. Now let's reverse and get Billy Bob's face from the other direction. And like 9.5 weeks, which the compatibility was really bad, apparently, with Rourke and what's her name?
Singer.
Yeah.
Are you talking about Last Tango in Paris?
That's another one,
yeah,
where apparently he forced himself on her into doing things she wasn't, which I don't understand at all. But that's you have to have a conversation before you even start a scene like that. And in any case, your most passionate scene. I'm curious of the movies. Some of the movies I've talked about, but what was one of some of your most passionate scenes where they really both seemed passionate and compatible together?
Oh, I've got this one for sure. I covered the movie Atonement in one of our episodes. That was the 2007, I believe, Joe Wright film with Keira Knightley and James McAvoy. Yep. That had incredible chemistry. That had so much production value because it's this pivotal scene that really changes the entire course of the film. And so they had to get it right, and they had to get the sex to be at that intensity. And it's a great example of how the filmmaking really had to come before anything else, because to make a good sexy scene, you have to have chemistry, you have to have the actors be great together, but everything from the lighting, everything from the costume design and the setting and everything came together to make this perfect moment that allowed for such sexy imagery to come forth on the screen.
Right.
So, yeah. Right. Atonement, very high up there.
Yeah. And a lot of what you talked about with that one when we discussed it on the podcast, was that quote from Keira Knightley where she said it was the best experience she'd ever have filming a sex scene, because it was so choreographed. So she knew exactly what was going to happen. And she knew exactly what to expect, and there were no surprises, and there was nothing shady happening and whatever. So that was a big part of it. But, there are things like that dress that she was wearing. She's wearing this like really slinky, silky dress that you can like see her nipples straight through. And so it's like you've got, okay, it's beautifully choreographed, and the framing choices are incredible and meaningful and thematic, but also like, oh damn, boobies, which is just, you get a little bit of everything with a movie like that.
Yeah, awesome. It's Keira Knightley, so I can't complain. Johnny, you have a question?
No, I listened to your guys' first episode. It was entertaining.
Thank you.
I guess my question is, how old were you guys when you, let's say, for example, watched Titanic, and then did you find it sexy then, or is this something now as an adult you're more turned on by?
I mean, I think I understand sex more than I would at, say, 14. That does, that does contribute, I think.
Perhaps.
But I don't know. It's interesting. I can't really I was trying to think of this. Kate brought up a possible episode for the future that was sort of like scenes that introduced us to new concepts, like when we were kids or something. And I really couldn't think of some of the first sex scenes that I had seen. I couldn't really think of ones that had introduced me to the concept. So I don't know. I don't have a great answer for you there.
Titanic is definitely one of the early ones for me. I think I was like way too young when I started watching that movie. I can remember being about 6 or 7 watching that movie. But more than the sex scene is the draw me like one of your French girls scene where Kate Winslet is full nude. And that's such an erotic scene that I can remember being a kid and being like with my sister and watching it, or with my cousins and watching it, because it used to be like everyone had like the double VHS tape set of that movie.
Oh yeah.
And just seeing it all the time, everywhere, because everyone owned it. And so more than the sex scene in the car and thinking, oh, that's like the concept of intercourse or whatever. I remember being like, oh, do grown-ups just draw each other nude? Do I need to learn that?
I just go to the park and draw people, and they're like, what are you doing? I don't know, but it feels like you and I have something. You're like, what? I don't know. I look what I drew. I drew you. So I think let's go find a car. And I bought 2 tickets on this boat. So
even in parks, caricatures have to be consensual.
See, there we go. See, Carlos, do you have a question?
No, I got this bad boy right here.
What is it? Oh, he has the double VHS. Yes, he only watches tape 2. I think that's where the good parts are.
He really likes to watch the ship go down.
That's it over and over. He cheers, claps.
He likes it when Leo's friend like hits the propeller on the way down.
See, okay. He deserved it. No, but Carlos, do you have a question here? By any chance?
Actually, I caught the last podcast, and you guys were talking about Outlander.
Yes,
Yeah.
I brought Outlander recently. Yeah.
Right. So my question is, shows like Outlander, and there was another one, I think it was called Barbarians on Netflix. But do you feel that shows like Outlander and these other ones, they're just trying to compete or trying to make themselves the new Game of Thrones, I guess? Because you know how Game of Thrones is really, there's a lot of sex in Game of Thrones. So do you think these new shows are doing it to compete or try to take over that level? Because a lot of it, I feel like, don't get me wrong, I enjoy seeing the sex scenes, right? But do you feel like it's put in there just to get your attention? Is it really always necessary? That's why I'm wondering, like Outlander and these other shows are doing it to kind of raise the bar, like Game of Thrones did.
Really, really sexy shows predate Game of Thrones and predate Outlander. So I don't think it's about competing maybe with one specific show. I think they're increasingly common. And I think people are increasingly okay with saying, yeah, I like watching those smutty HBO stars, whatever Showtime shows. People are increasingly into that premium cable style. But yeah, no, I think we talked in our episode that's not out yet about Queer as Folk, which was on Showtime starting in the year 2000, so 21 years ago. And it is, to this day, the raunchiest, sexiest show I've ever seen in my life.
No question about it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
I think a show like Game of Thrones also, besides the sex scenes, gets, like Carlos, it kind of gets that, you see all the sex in that show? It's also it's a huge show in general. So it's going to catch that attention also, right? It's not just because I didn't watch it for the sex scenes. I watched it for a dragon that didn't appear for 8 years. Pissed me off.
If any show is after the shock value of it, it's Game of Thrones, because it's often not sex. It's often rape or incest or prostitution.
And you're right.
It's not always two people in a relationship having sex. And so there's like a lot of shock value.
Isn't the first episode incest when he pushes the kid out the window?
Yeah.
Right off the bat. Yeah, right. Right off the bat. Yeah. So you guys are gonna stick around for the whole entire show today, right?
I don't know. We were given the option.
All right. Well, there's a lot to talk about. So hold on to your hats. We'll be right back after this on Nerds Talking, the podcast.
Hello, this is Flynn from the Bourbon and Brothers podcast, where four friends sit around once a week talking about topics such as movies, television shows, nostalgia, nerdy debates centered around Marvel, Harry Potter, Star Wars, and more, all while making fun of one another, telling embarrassing stories about ourselves, and enjoying a glass of bourbon. So if you want to hear friends debate topics in more depth than they probably deserve, subscribe and listen to the Bourbon and Brothers podcast wherever you get your podcast. New episodes release every Friday, so we hope you join us. Cheers.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking, the podcast. I'm here with Carlos, Johnny, Hugh, Kate, and Lauren, and I'm Lafayette. We got a packed house. This is the first time we've had 6 people on the show, so we have a lot of voices here. We're actually going to talk about something I think just about everyone has: tattoos. Does everyone here have a tattoo? Oh well, Lauren has plenty of tattoos.
Yeah,
I can see. How many tattoos do you have?
My girls.
Oh wow.
My girls.
Oh, they're beautiful.
Thank you.
So, Lauren, how many tattoos do you have?
I honestly don't know if I've ever kept count.
You don't know how do you not know how many? Take a guess.
I've been working on a sleeve for the last few years, and that feels like it's one piece, but it's done in so many sessions that it's kind of like it's
really just one big
step. Yeah, it's kind of eclipsed everything before it.
Gotcha.
But I've got about at least half a dozen, probably more on the other arm.
Oh, you have a lot.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
Kate,
enjoy them very much.
Kate, do you have tattoos?
I have one tiny one on my foot.
Okay. Oh, it's one. Hugh, you have just the arm tattoo, or you have more?
No, just my girls.
Just the
right now.
kids.
Just the girls.
Just the kids.
Yeah.
At what age are they on that tattoo? Like 10, 12?
No, it was like, I want to say 8 years ago. So they would have been 8 and 4. No, that can't be right. No, 10 and 6. 10 and 6. Are
you gonna get more underneath as their age progresses, or are you good with just that age of kids?
I'm good because they look almost the same. I mean, it's amazing.
Oh, is that how you do it? You look at them like every other, still pretty good, still the same. I won't change it yet.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if I had other things, it'll be different things. Something maybe over here, but related more to work I did for many, many years.
Okay. Yeah. And Johnny, do you have a tattoo?
You know what? First, I'm going to say, go fuck yourself, because I had a feeling once I saw this topic, you guys were going to bring me, put me on Front Street.
I already know about it. Go ahead.
All right, I'll tell you. I don't care. I'll tell you. So I was in the military. I was on leave from Budapest, or from when I went to Bosnia. So we went to Budapest, and we all got drunk, and my friends got skulls and pit bulls with blood coming out of their mouth. And I woke up with a fucking dolphin on my shoulder. Just a dolphin, and it's arcing out of the water, it's splashing and stuff like that. So when I was going to go on a cruise in 2000, and I was like, well, obviously I can't have this fucking dolphin on my back. So I went into a tattoo place, and he's like, well, I can cover it, but I need to put this, it has to be big. So now it's like half of my back, and it's a big ass dragon. But if you look really closely, there's a dolphin in the belly of the beast. Yeah.
Nice. So, very nice.
I've regretted for years telling you guys that shit, because I knew it was gonna bite.
You should have just like added flames, like made the dolphin cool, like
fangs,
put some spikes on him. Yeah.
Right. Or put him in the mouth of a pit bull.
Just,
right?
Anything, just keep the dolphin there. You just should have added to the dolphin.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, obviously, I was hammered. Yeah, I didn't think it through, so I wasn't expecting.
Well, you were hammered in Bosnia or
in Budapest?
Or Budapest. Well, no, don't get a tattoo in Budapest.
I'm just trying to picture that. I can see the other guys. Yeah, let me have that fucking skull. I'll have a dolphin.
I guess my question is, did you pick it, or didn't even know what you picked?
Well, the story that I tell is
the truth.
I thought I was gonna pick like those Chinese characters that mean something, and then I saw a dolphin. It looked good.
Oh, so you picked the dolphin? Okay, now
I was not sober,
and you can blame it on that. Sure,
They refused to put a shamrock on your ankle, had to go with the dolphin.
I mean, I'm surprised it's not on my lower back, but I wasn't.
That would have been good.
Had I known that all my friends would make that fucking dolphin sound every time they saw me, I probably wouldn't have done it. So
your friends are asses, man.
Not the coolest thing to get while you're in the military. And like, so when people say, "Oh, thank you for your service," well, you don't really know. You wouldn't thank me if you saw this dolphin on my shoulder.
And Carlos, how many tattoos do you have?
I have one.
Oh, okay. Just one tattoo.
Shoulder blade.
Okay. I have none. So I'm the zero guy. No tattoos. I mean, the question is that was posed is, do you guys have any regrets getting a tattoo? Is it kind of out of sight, out of mind? The one maybe like Johnny can't see his, so it's almost like doesn't really know it's there most of the time. Doesn't realize he even has it. Is it something you wish you could change, or, so to that degree? Like Kate has one small one. She says on her foot. What is it? What's the design?
So I got this tattoo. It was sort of also a bad decision Saturday night tattoo. I wasn't really drunk, but my best friend and I knew we were about to move far apart. I was about to move to the West Coast and she was on the East Coast, and we were like, we should do something to memorialize our friendship, as you do, right? So we both got this tattoo that says "Hello, my friend," which is sort of a reference to the Neil Diamond song, but really it's more like a meta reference to the really bad movie Saving Silverman with Jack Black and Steve Zahn. Whoever else is in that one, and the main characters are in a Neil Diamond cover band in that movie. So really it's that, because we've always watched that movie together. And it's so tiny and it is very much out of sight, out of mind now. But when I first got it, I had the funniest reaction. I was like immediately regretful and like, I'm never going to see that patch of skin again. Oh my God, the real estate I'll never get back on the side of my left foot, as though I spend a lot of time admiring like the weird wrinkly skin on the side of my foot or something. But I quickly got over that feeling. But for, I don't know, a few weeks, I was like, was this a huge mistake? As though it's got any impact on my life at all.
And that's a good point too. I mean, it's not in a visible spot, It's not like you got it like, right on your collarbone below your neck, where everybody, oh, hello, my friend. Like people just constantly say it to you, hello, my friend, like nonstop.
Yeah. It's like just high enough that you can see it above the top of, if I wear like ballet flats or sandals or something, you can see it, but it's really easy to hide. My best friend is a person with like a lot of tattoos. She's got like a half sleeve, and so she got hers like along the top of her calf. So hers is way more visible, and hers is like bigger font than mine. So she was way braver about it, but she already had like, 4 or 5 tattoos when we did this. And this was my first run at it. So.
And Lauren, I mean, you have plenty of tattoos. You definitely don't regret getting tattoos. I assume you want more tattoos.
Oh yeah.
So what is the appeal of getting tattoos? Like, why? You see rappers with face tattoos, neck tattoos, and so forth. And what is the appeal of constantly adding to the collection?
I mean, I'm not gonna start putting ink on my face, so I can't really speak to that. That's not necessarily my aesthetic, but to each their own. No, I think there's something about taking ownership of your body that comes from having tattoos. It's like a real way of saying like, this piece of skin, this is mine, and I'm going to do whatever I want with it. And if that's either putting some sort of quote, like I've got a Kurt Vonnegut quote on my arm, or if it's something like a slice of pizza, which I've heard is a popular tattoo, that's fine too. It's not necessarily so much about the content as about the like, this is my body and I can do whatever the fuck I want with it.
Do you have one though that you're like, maybe I should have got? I don't want to keep looking at that every day.
Not really. There's one that I think I would change the design of a little bit, but I And I've gotten a good mentality with my tattoos of being like, this is at least true to how I felt in the moment. Like, it may not necessarily hold up throughout my entire life, but it's a reminder of an instant in my life. Does that make any sense?
And your tattoos are visible. Like you can see, you know what I mean? They're not like Johnny's on his back. Anybody that puts it on their back or basically anywhere behind them. So, but are they kind of out of sight, out of mind though? Because you're just used to having, like, they're just more or less, like you said, it's almost like your second skin. Like, oh, like you don't really pay attention much to them.
I mean, it is my skin. It's not even a second skin. It's just my skin.
That's what I mean. So that's what I'm saying.
That I see all the time.
Like when you look at it, is it still like, oh, look at that, or is it just it is what it is? Like it's you. Like that's it.
Yeah. No. After time, it just becomes part of your identity. It just becomes, this is my arm. These are my arms, and this is my, this is what I've got going on here.
There's no going back.
It's
unless you cover it up like Johnny did with a dragon.
I would not. I think honestly, I think you should have just rocked that dolphin.
That's what I'm saying. Thank you.
I think I would have gotten more attention if I had just kept. He
should have just upgraded the dolphin. That's it. But I get it though, because people, like he said, his friends were making fun of him, and his self-esteem dropped, and we didn't see him for years. He hid in his house. And we were like outside of his house doing the dolphin sound. We had hula hoops holding him up. Jump through this. And he just couldn't take it. And like Carlos has one on his back. I assume for him, it's probably out of sight, out of mind. Like, I have a tattoo. Is it still back there? Like,
it's still there. No, but that's exactly.
I know it's there.
I've always wanted one, and so I designed it myself. And it's well, you know what it is. It's the Portuguese crest and the maple leaf from the Canadian flag on top of each other, because I'm Portuguese descent. I was born in Canada, but that's kind of why I put it on my back. I always wanted one, but then, like you said, it's out of sight, out of mind. So when I look in the mirror, I don't see it. Right? It's on my back unless I look for it. And I really don't. I mean, like my older brother has a bunch of tattoos. He's got them on his shoulders and his calves, and I'm not a real big fan of the shoulder tattoo. It's just, to me, it's just cliche. It's just everybody puts it on their shoulder. But I do want, now that I have a son, he's 2, and then his favorite character is Goofy. He always walks around asking about Goofy. So for some reason now, I want to get more, but I want to get more because of him. So I was thinking, like, maybe I'd try to work some sort of Disney sleeve. I know it's kind of weird, but I get it's not really weird, but some guys, that put dragons on their back would probably make fun of me. But I wanted a Disney
right back
sleeve.
to Johnny. I don't leave Johnny
I'm just
alone.
sitting here enjoying our new guest.
We can make fun of Johnny without the tattoos.
Yeah, you can do this any day.
Yeah, we do it all the time.
Turn it up a notch today.
Yeah.
Fucking dicks.
That was the name of our next podcast, Fucking Dicks.
But wait, in what context? Anyway, Hugh.
Yeah.
Go ahead. You have a tattoo of your kids, so of course you're proud of your tattoo, and you don't plan on really getting another one, or?
No, I do. No, I had a plan. I had a little plan, like the girls first, and then over here, because I was a camera guy for 35 years in LA, big camera, video. So I was going to do what my handle was, which is Skull Cam Dude. I used to have a skull on my camera. I still have the camera. I still have the skull. And I was going to have a camera coming out of the skull, and that was going to be on this shoulder, Skull Cam Dude. And then I was going to do a phoenix on my back, as in rising out of what I used to do, now doing something else, or something to that effect. I just remember though, when I got this, you hear about the first time you get one, like it hurts, and it didn't hurt crazy, but like when he was doing her hair, he kept going down the same spot. And I just remember looking, going, fucking finish. Aren't you finished? Finish that.
Next time you get one, to show up with a Sharpie and use this. And then
I think it's, it was like, it wasn't that bad, but it was still like, aren't you done?
So you don't have like 1.5 children on there. You just walked out. Like,
no,
one
but
kid's face is smeared.
But I got a plan though. That's the plan at some point.
Well, there you go. Johnny, how old your tattoo?
How old is my tattoo?
Yeah, the cover up.
Your dolphin. How old's your dolphin?
No, I know what you're talking about. Jeez, you guys don't need to remind everybody.
The dolphin frolicking.
Well, the reason I ask is like you never thought of getting a second tattoo. Well, that is your second. I guess a third tattoo.
No, I mean, I thought about getting either removed or just getting like a whole sleeve, but then I don't see it very often. When I do, I just bow my head and shake it, and there's a little bit of regret.
You are the worst.
I'm always reminded of that movie with Adam Sandler and Andy Samberg, That's My Boy, where he gets his son tattoo, or he gets the New Kids of the Block tattooed on his back when he's a kid, but when he grows up their heads are all like enlarged. It's the funniest scene.
That would be a good tattoo. Get like all the heads of like NSYNC.
Yeah,
like the worst tattoo ever. That'd be great. I don't have any tattoos because see, I do art, and I'm a person. I couldn't stare at the same thing all the time. I'd be like, oh, why can't I change this? Why can't I just erase it and draw something else? Then you have to keep adding to it. So like if I got like, let's say I got Carlos' face on my arm for some apparent reason, I'd have to add a mustache one year, then the next year give him like earrings, and they're like, why do you keep doing that? I can't just keep staring at it. Just keep adding to them. And then they give the tattoo face tattoos, and it just keeps adding on. And I just like, I don't know. I see tattoos. At least for me, tattoos, I see them as out of sight, out of mind. Like you're going to get all these tattoos, and it's almost like, oh man, I shouldn't have got that one. Or why do I keep staring at this parrot? Like, eating fried chicken. I gotta eat life decisions. Damn dolphins. So right back at you, Johnny.
You know what killed me when I was doing carpets, like entertainment carpets in LA? Steve-O came out, and I covered him a couple times when he was not in his best days. And he came out with a tattoo when he had the one done on his back, which is his own face, which I never understood at all. Why would you put your own face on your back? I mean, I just never got it.
But do you
like a life size of his own face.
It's
not even like a miniature.
Like just
but
a
you know
giant
why he got
Steve-O
that? It's because if you saw the Jackass movie, he gets the tattoo when they're in the car in the buggy in the desert, and they're trying to tattoo his back at the same time.
I remember.
Just this big scribble, like so he got the face tattoo to cover it all up.
But why your own? Why not get something else to cover it up?
There are other faces in the world.
Yeah, but think about it. Remember the old, you can't see it anyway. So when he's walking, people know it's him still. So there you go.
Because they didn't know for sure it was him.
From the front, if you only see him from the back, Steve-O, and he turns around like, yep, that's me. All right.
You're asking a lot of a guy who's famous for like accidentally stapling his own balls to his leg.
Right?
Like
he did.
Do we feel like there's a real good answer?
He did that. He did that on the carpet I was on. He pulled his junk right out there on the carpet and said, "Look, it's a cheeseburger." It was like, oh my god, dude, I don't want to see that at all.
That's what goes for entertainment. There we go. All right, we'll take a break here on Nerds Talking the podcast. Right back after this.
Check out Let's Get It On Film, the all things sex in film and TV podcast. Join us while we break down the best, the worst, the sexiest that film and TV has to offer. Keep it pervy.
We're your hosts, Kate and Lauren. We're definitely qualified and sexy.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the podcast, our full house or fuller house, if you watch Netflix, of characters with Johnny, Carlos, Hugh, Kate, and Lauren. And you guys know Kate and Lauren, they do have their own podcast, as you heard in the first segment. It's called Let's Get It On Film, right? That's what it's called.
That is correct.
And we, as you guys hear in our breaks, we promote other podcasts. So you can go check out other shows. I mean, we want you to listen to ours and listen to ours over and over, but we prefer, go check out other shows too. They're fun. I mean, podcasts, for me, I listen to primarily podcasts these days. So they don't have a promo yet to give us. It was like, we need a promo. We need one now. And so we're like, why don't you do it live? We're recording. Give us a promo, and so this is what we're going to do. You guys go ahead and take a crack at it. Okay. Now, if it's not good, we're not, whatever. It doesn't matter. But then Johnny's going to take a crack at it. And then Carlos will take a crack at it, Hugh, and so forth. But you guys will lay the foundation of your promo, and then Johnny will show us how it's done.
Why is Johnny doing this? I just don't understand why you keep putting me on Front Street.
The dolphin.
Johnny is
No
not
matter what. I'm
qualified.
sorry. You're getting punished for the dolphin.
You obviously know I make bad life choices, so like, don't trust me.
All right. So Lauren and Kate, you're on the spot. You have a commercial to film. Doesn't even have to be great. It just has to guide the rest of the show. Ready, set, and action.
I can do this. Are you ready?
Yeah, Kate, I'm ready.
Check out Let's Get It On Film, the all things sex in film and TV podcast. Join us while we break down the best, the worst, the sexiest that film and TV has to offer. Keep it pervy.
See, you didn't even need me.
Wait, that's the whole promo.
See, that was fine. You got
now,
it.
There was one flaw.
Oh.
You didn't mention the host of the show. You just said, I got this. And we didn't say that who hosts the show.
That is true. Okay. You can edit this back in and this will be my bit.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. We're your hosts, Kate and Lauren. We're definitely qualified and sexy.
Actually, that works for the end of the promo. That's actually, see, there we go. Now we have a promo. We
got there.
And that was the trick. None of us are actually going to do a take on it. We got what we wanted. Bam! We got our promo. No, okay, Johnny, your turn. All right, now Johnny.
I want to do what they're doing with the movie.
I can't do it.
You're filling in for them for the week. They're out on vacation.
Yeah.
You know, they're in. Where'd you get your tattoo again? Bahamas, whatever. Budapest. And they're like, "Hey, where's that famous tattoo shop with the dolphin? We're on vacation." That's how it goes down to Budapest.
Johnny's pictures on the wall. Hey, this guy got a dolphin. U.S. military. Okay.
So Johnny's filling in for the show for the week, but he has to cut a promo for Let's Get It On Film. Johnny, go.
I want to give you one piece of direction.
Oh, here we go.
One piece of direction. Just remember, keep it sexy.
Keep
it sexy.
Now act like you're doing the intro for the show. Like, hi, I'm Johnny, and you're listening to, and you have to tell us what the show is about. Go.
But can you give us like a little phone sex operator? Can you put a little zhuzh it up a little?
There's a lot. Hey, remember, they're directing. We said they get to direct the
I want to hear that. I want to hear that.
So Johnny, you two criterias. You gotta do phone sex operator voice, okay? And Lauren, what was your you gave him a criteria? What was it again?
I said keep it sexy, but I think it's
sexy.
Kind of they're one and the same.
I think you can mix them both together.
All right,
Johnny,
so I'm going to tell you before I start, I'm a little self-conscious because on previous podcasts and previous years of our lives, you say my voice sounds like a drunk Kermit the Frog.
No.
Yes. A drunk. Yes.
A bad Kermit the Frog.
A bad Kermit the Frog.
If you watch Let's Get It On Film.
That's what you go ahead.
I just don't see how I can make anyone go.
Damn it! Do the goddamn phone sex voice and shut your mouth. Well, don't shut your mouth because you have to do the promo. But you know what I mean.
Do the thing. We need that.
Yeah, you're up because Carlos is next.
Make it sound like the Muppet Show, then, buddy.
Yeah.
If you want to go from 6 to midnight, yay!
Yes. Get it on film. Stop waving your hands.
All right, you're up. Ready? Remember, it's like you're starting the show off. You're the host, and you got to mention what the show's about, what they're listening to. Go.
He's blanking out.
So much pressure.
Honestly, I was hoping for this might be controversial, but I think Hugh has such a rate.
Oh no, Hugh's gonna go too. Everyone gets a shot. Everyone.
I've already got
it
written.
He's writing a script.
It's written already.
He's probably texting his
It's only 10 seconds long though. It needs to be short.
He's texting his friends and he's like, "Hey, remember that movie you directed? How should I do this?"
No, I already know. I'm doing it with the movie.
Okay, Johnny, you don't go yet because since Hugh is ready, you can think about what you have to do. Okay, so right. Hugh, you're up. 3, 2, 1.
Let's Get It On Film with Lauren and Kate, where they'll talk about all things love and sex in movies. Let's keep it pervy.
Hell yeah, we need that. We need that. Right. Give me that audio.
Wow, I think we're done.
Go. Yeah,
we're done.
Wow, you are just
that's like The movie trailer guy, boys.
Let me explain how rules work in podcasts. Hugh, do not upstage the guests, please. Good Lord, man.
Well, no, they can use it. I mean, just it'll be a change of pace.
Yeah.
Can you
Okay,
give us
Carlos,
a little
you're up.
like?
Yeah.
Wait, I want a little more out of Hugh. I want a little like in a world where there's so much
Hold on.
sex on HBO.
That's good.
Yeah,
That's
a good
even
one.
better.
In a world,
In a world where there's only
where there's
war.
too much sex on HBO.
You need
Turn
more
on
sex.
PBS, where the Muppets.
I love
fuck
your
all
line
night.
though. Let's keep it pervy.
Yeah. All right. Carlos, you're up. Go ahead. Now remember, you're filling in, and you gotta go because they're getting dolphin tattoos. Thanks, Johnny.
Fucking dick.
I think did you write it down also?
Who?
You did you write it
I took
down?
little notes, but I didn't write a script like Hugh wrote a script.
Well, I mean, he
I
was only
wrote
like
3
but
I wrote
lines.
two
was-
things. I wrote sexy time and perverts. That's
Okay,
what
now-
I wrote.
You know what? I want
Welcome
hear
to
this
Get It On
promo.
Film. If you're as much as a pervert as I am, listen to us. We'll tell you all about the sexy stuff in films and TV. Let's get naked.
Let's what your catch is. Let's get naked. And Hughes was
Exactly what we do.
and Hughes was what was your catch? What was your line at the end?
Oh,
Let's
it's
get
her
pervy.
line, but I just stole it.
Let's get pervy. That was
keep it-
Kate said let's
keep
get
it
pervy.
pervy.
Keep it
Carlos
pervy.
said let's get naked. Wow.
Yeah, that's not it
Well,
at all.
But you know what? It's not a bad line, but it's not what we definitely Hughes
You want
winning.
people to come and listen and tune in? Like, what's going on? They're getting naked. Yes.
But it's
I'm gonna
it's not a
listen.
visual show.
It's an audio only
Hey,
medium.
no,
dude.
Use
radio
your
show.
imagination. Use your imagination. Johnny imagined his dolphin was badass. And it
Why
was.
do you
can
keep
see you
going
guys
back
keep
to
going
Johnny
back.
for? I mean,
Yeah.
let me do
That
that
was a
part.
kidney punch. Kidney punch.
All right, Johnny, you're up now. You've
think
had
you-
2 people go already.
You should do it in Kermit, Johnny. Do it in Kermit.
No, it's just his
That's
regular,
his regular
voice.
voice.
Let's keep it pervy.
Hey, Piggy.
Yeah.
Throw one of those in there.
Yeah,
Throw one
do
of
that. Yeah. Okay. Now remember, it's pretty simple. You just have to mention the name of the show, and one guy says keep it pervy, the other guy says let's get naked. Take their notes and go.
I'm just so sad right now. Like, I feel like any promo would be let's get it on podcast. If you want to get turned on, just don't listen to my voice. Just listen to you girls, and they're gonna cover everything. It's gonna be great. Just I'm so sorry for everything.
You know what? Yours is pretty good. Though.
Perfect.
I'm not gonna lie. Yours.
Yeah.
You might. You know what? Hugh, you're in
the
second
winner right
place.
there.
Yeah. Johnny's like just really sad loner. Like, hey guys, sorry about this, but I'm filling in. Oh man, I watched the wrong movies. I watched Commando. There's no sex in it. I tried, man. I really did, but Predator, nothing.
Then there was Toy Story. Nothing in
yeah.
Toy Story either.
Yeah, Toy Story, nothing. My buddy told me to watch this show, a movie, Moana, nothing. I don't know, man. Anyway,
He watched Triple X. It was just
yeah.
Vin Diesel.
Yeah. It's like I watched Triple X. Vin Diesel was kind of hot, I guess, but nothing. like totally just he's totally off just everything. Like, here's a question for you guys. How about there's no you guys don't do animated movies and shows.
We
Because
haven't yet, but
Do you
I
have
know
anything
that-
in mind?
Yes, I have something in mind for animated sex. There's actually more than you'd think.
Okay, give me one. Just give me one.
Oh God.
We talked about one on the show a couple of times.
favorite.
That's our favorite, and it's like the most graphic and like probably the hottest sex scene in all the movies, and it's in an animated ever. Yep.
The
If you haven't
one that
seen it
comes
yet,
to
you're missing out.
mind-
What is
Yeah,
it?
You're missing out. You just
Come on. Let
I
them
don't
go
know what it
first.
The
Then
one
we'll-
that comes
we'll-
to mind for me is kind of cheating because it's animated and real life. Do you guys know the film Cool World?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Didn't
the one
see
that
it.
comes to mind.
okay.
Hmm.
Okay.
Didn't
How about
see it.
Kate? Do you have one?
Can't even think of animated sex. We had an episode set aside for like puppet sex, which we definitely do Team America.
That's it. That's
Yes.
what we're just
Yeah.
talking
Team
about.
America.
That's right.
Ah, yes.
That's right. That was very
because
good.
it's iconic, of course. How could
There
you
you
not?
go.
But
There you go.
I haven't watched anything smutty in animation.
I mean,
I
heavy
haven't
metal. You
heard
guys
of
ever seen heavy metal?
Oh no.
No. Okay.
Well,
Watch
that's
heavy metal when you.
80s.
It's a really well animated movie. It's actually like an action adventure 80s cartoon, but has a lot of nudity and so forth. And yeah, check that out. But yeah, Team America is what we were referring to. As you guys know, that is full blown, just getting down and dirty. Just puppet action. So
wasn't the story there that they put as much raunchy material in that scene so that other parts of the movie would fly under the censor's radar?
That makes sense.
Probably.
I would assume so. I mean, the whole movie's pretty bad and crazy, and Matt Damon, and but that's okay. Johnny, anything else?
No.
Okay, just gonna go back to you. Nothing. All right, we'll take one more break after this. Be right back after this commercial from our sponsors, Johnny's Dolphin Friends.
This is The Gorge. It's a podcast where my friend Sarah and I gorge ourselves in overanalyzing a topic.
The body count
It's
in this children's movie.
It's insanely high. The reason he's able to be a good assassin is because no one would expect a gorilla to kill you.
I made the incredibly stupid decision to start Marble Hornets.
And the robot says, I know where we can find your baby. It was stolen by Cap'n Crunch.
He sounds like Chuck Huber?
Yeah. How did you know? I was gonna say that. The Gorge. 3 times a month, wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking, the podcast, here with Lauren, Kate, Hugh, Johnny, Carlos, Lafayette. I read the names off the screen because I forget. All right. So right back here with our guest host from the podcast, Let's Get It on Film. Hugh, one more time, give us the promo. When I count to 3.
Hey, hold on. Hey there. Hold on.
All right. Now you have to do it a little more like Kate asked for, like the movie phone guy. Like that guy. You know, I listened to a podcast and it was about sex on film. Like that.
Oh, that's good. I may even start that way. That's good.
Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1, go.
Once I listened to a podcast about sex on film. It was called Let's Get It on Film with Lauren and Kate, where they'll talk about all things love and sex in movies. Let's keep it pervy.
There we go.
That was majestic.
And that's how we start this segment. But Carlos, you continue the segment because you had a question about sex on film.
Yeah. Do you guys think sex on film? Well, to me, sex on film is not, my experience in sex is not what you see on film. Mm-hmm. I hate when they have people having sex on film and then one rolls off the other one in bed. The sheets are nice and neat. They roll off each other like, cool, we're done. That's not how it works. It's never worked that way for me. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. But I don't know. Because there's like cleanup. There's a smell. The sheets are never in the same spot. The sheets are barely even there. You know what I'm saying? So, when you guys see these sex scenes, you go, okay, it's cool, it's sexy, but that's not real.
Oh yeah, that's a big part of what we talk about every week. That's where we get into our authenticity criterion. It's like, parts of it are great. Occasionally it's realistic. Most of the time it's crazy and people are like hoisting each other against walls and like there's a shameful lack of foreplay, deeply unrealistic that way. That very often we're like, there's no way a woman could enjoy this at all.
As well, though. But that's a time thing, it's a time crunch, See, when you get so many minutes.
They don't even hint at it. It's just right into it.
We had one episode recently where it was really remarkable because there was actual clit stimulation going on. We never see that in film.
Now, was that a film? Like a major film?
In Versailles, the TV show Versailles.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay. Well, so the thing is, people have to realize they also cover TV shows. When people think film, they might think just movies, but you guys cover everything from TV to just TV and movies, right? You guys don't cover, I don't know,
theater,
puppetry, theater. Yeah, you guys like
literature, great.
Yeah, exactly.
Great art.
Exactly.
No, we keep it. As podcasters, you will be aware that the podcast categories have a TV and film category. And so that is what we have restricted ourselves to.
There we go. Hugh.
So I'm curious, do you ever talk about, because there's always been rumor about some of the really hotter scenes and whether it actually happened. And there's a lot of rumor about that, including, and I can think of like 3 movies right off the top of my head. including when you talked about stimulation, Jack Nicholson with Jessica Lange in The Postman Always Rings Twice. Supposedly that really happened in that movie with Michael Douglas and what's her name and Basic Instinct. Supposedly really, where it wasn't really planned. And we even talked about Monster Ball again to bring that one up, where if it didn't happen, then I don't know where he went, where he was, because I don't know if you've seen Monster Ball. It's so graphic.
I've seen that scene. Yeah. It's interesting. I mean, how to be delicate about this.
Well, do you think it does? Do you think it has happened in film between main actors like that?
I think when something like that happens, it's not good. I think for the most part, you want a situation where everyone's super comfortable, and there's not really a reason when you're doing filmmaking. I don't see the point in having unsimulated scenes, because it's not about that necessarily, unless that's the film you're making. I mean, I know we talked a little bit just ourselves about Chloe Sevigny,
Brown Bunny.
Brown Bunny.
Yeah.
Which, like, she's game to do that stuff, which is really cool and really unique. It should not be expected of people, and it should not be the norm.
I think maybe the thing I was even in the throes of something where you're that close to each other. And if especially if it's a scene where you're allowed basically to go on for more than 30 seconds before a cut and changing camera angles. And that's what I'm talking about with like Monster Ball, for example, because part of that scene looked like it was shot for a minute maybe or longer from like behind a wall, almost like they had just cleared the set. And that was a rumor about the Mickey Rourke movie, 9.5 Weeks, that they had also cleared the set, put a camera up on the ceiling because part of the shot was from up high, and it seemed to go on for the longest time. And I thought, well, why did they do it that way unless there was a chance that things were going to happen? And it could be
to a certain extent, they're looking for natural chemistry and they're hoping they'll get maybe a little carried away. I don't know that we necessarily need to traffic in like the horny urban legend of movies and like, I heard they were really fucking under those sheets, because it's like, I don't know, who cares? We're not watching it. That's what porn is for. But like, a lot of the things that you talk about, like Sharon Stone and Basic Instinct, like when you hear about these things decades later, it's through the lens of like, oh yeah, the director convinced me not to wear panties and didn't tell me that he was going to show my vagina on screen. And so it always comes back to like abuse, and you're like, oh no, that's not hot at all. That's so shitty.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I read that story, and I mean what she had to say, and if that's what happened, it is shitty.
Yeah.
The question I have is, do you guys watch movies that you haven't seen, or do you pick films that you recall that you can critique? Or like, do you watch a movie blind, like, we haven't seen this one, we heard it's, and then we're gonna pick it apart and so forth?
Kind of a mixed bag.
Yeah, definitely mixed. I've seen some of the films that I talk about and some of the TV that I've talked about. But oftentimes I'm at least rewatching it before we talk about it. I'm doing research about how it was made. And some of the stuff is new to me. Some of the stuff I've looked for like examples of specific sex scenes that stand out, and I've specifically sought them out.
Yeah, me too. I try to watch everything that I talk about just so that I can provide like wider context on it. But there are things that I definitely watch just by nature of its reputation for having like a really horny scene. So something like The Bronze with Sebastian Stan and Melissa Rauch has a hilarious sex scene, but I watched it because I heard it's got a hilarious sex scene.
All right, my last question is, what is the worst movie you've critiqued, that you've reviewed? What is the one you're like, wow, this is so bad, like it's just horribly set up, it's even badly edited and shot, and not necessarily unrealistic per se, but it's just bad? Which movie is it?
It's mine. I brought Wild Things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, with
yeah.
Matt Dillon and and Nev Campbell and Carrie
Richards.
Yeah, part of my top 5 all-time movie list. But now go ahead and ruin it for me.
No, it's because I specifically brought the scene where the two girls are starting to kiss in the pool, and it's implied that they start to have sex, but really you just cut to Kevin Bacon's stupid face, like hiding in the bushes with a camcorder. It's not sexy. And so I talked about that as opposed to, I think, the famous threesome scene, because I was disappointed by it. There were deleted scenes that were much more kind of softcore type filming, and you saw some titties, and that was great. But in the context of the film, it was just like, well, we just have to have some lesbian actions that we can, report on, I think, and it'll be
and I think a lot is implied in that movie. Yeah. And like you said, it's almost like a tease. Like, oh, they're gonna Kevin Bacon.
Exactly. Like, it's very disconcerting when you're like,
and I'm there for Kevin Bacon. Don't get me wrong. Like, if there's like a war movie and all of a sudden Kevin Bacon comes on screen, like, you're not even in the movies. Like, it's Kevin Bacon. Like,
you
I'm
also
there.
In that film later, you see his penis. You see his
That's right.
penis.
Hey, that's right.
Did you really? I forgot about that.
Well, isn't Matt Dillon standing in the bathroom with him? Like, why are they both in the bathroom together? And then he steps out of the shower. Like, what are you doing here, dude?
He comes out of the shower. He's just.
It's an odd scene too. Like, is it necessary? Like, okay. I mean, does it add to the story? Maybe.
Must a scene be necessary?
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank
you. Especially that scene. And I just said I want more Kevin Bacon, and you threw that, and I'm like, I want less Kevin Bacon.
You know what?
Lord.
It reminds me of Franco in that same sort of scene in the pool. Remember, he plays a drug guy, and it was shot in Tampa, like where I am.
Spring Break.
Oh,
Spring Breakers.
Yeah.
And then you read afterwards that there were certain people who were just totally uncomfortable being in there.
Johnny, your take? All right, good to hear from you. All right.
No,
so we'd like to. Oh wait, Carlos has more.
Well, no, I was just gonna ask. You said so. Wild Things, you say, is the worst, like sex
that we've
scene
covered so far.
Okay, that you covered so far, because what comes to mind to me is like as one of the worst sex scenes in a movie is in Showgirls.
Oh, you're talking about the
horrible? Yeah,
where she's about
she's like has a seizure on him. Yeah,
yeah. So
what is going on?
Flashing water.
Yeah. Like, did somebody drop a toaster in the water and they're dying? Somebody help them.
And the best part of the scene is the guy just has a smile. He's not even reacting. He's like, yeah,
he's dying.
I'm good. Like, I'm that good. Look at you.
He's
I've electrocuted you. I'm amazing. You've caused so much friction in this pool that electricity started up, and now look at you. Like,
this is my passion face.
Yeah, and she literally is jumping up and down. Johnny knows that noise. And he's just like, yeah, I'm that good. I was on Desperate Housewives. So, good pull on that scene. That is a horrible scene. Yeah. A horrible movie, but a horrible scene. That is just the worst.
Thankfully, the thing that Kate and I have really discovered in doing this podcast is there's a lot of sex scenes to talk about. We have so much material for the next few years.
You'll never run out.
Yeah.
If you ever run out, just email Johnny. He's got a list.
Yeah, and his aren't even like they're just on the internet. If you know what I mean.
Like you want anime, you call him. Hentai, he's got a list. Forget about it.
Yeah,
you guys can do your own podcast.
He tattoos all the movies on his neck. Yeah.
You want to talk about tentacle monsters?
Oh wait, whoa! I've seen that one. That was an anime. That's an anime. That one's wild. That one's like wow. Yeah, that one is a little much. Wow. All right. Well, thank you to Lauren and Kate for coming on the show with us. Go ahead and plug your show one more time. We're gonna plug it to death anyway, but go ahead and plug it again. Not you, Hugh. You keep quiet.
No, I'm not.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, this is our moment, Hugh. No, we are Kate and Lauren from Let's Get It on Film. You can check us out where you get your podcasts. Kate, anything I'm forgetting to say?
No, I think you're good.
I think I'm good, and I think I got everything. Just
remember to
where you get podcasts. That's where we are.
Turn on your notifications, download, subscribe, leave a comment, review the show.
guys know how to do this.
Yeah, in the comments, leave the movies you want them to watch, not you, Johnny. You're a despicable person. And that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. You guys can come on anytime. We'll talk about anything. That's how our show is. We talk about anything. You guys want to talk about more sex on film? We'll talk about that too. So thanks for coming on. We'll take one more break here on Nerds Talking the Podcast.
Taco Tuesdays with Nutso and Chuck the Rap Star. Every Tuesday on the Nerds Review Network. Grab a taco, take a seat, pop a burrito, it's gonna get deep. Subscribe and turn on your notifications, and don't forget to hit that like button.
Welcome back to Nerds Talking the Podcast. I'm here with Johnny, Hugh, Carlos, and I'm Lafayette, and our special guests have vacated the show. We'd like to thank them for coming on. That's Kate and Lauren, and that is Let's Get It on Film, the podcast. And now we're going to jump into NFTs, and it's a hot rage right now. NFTs, man, I think they're stupid as hell. But Carlos, give us a definition of NFT.
I don't have a definition for you. I think it's like chasing unicorns, man. It's just not real.
No, but it has a meaning. An NFT.
I don't know, but I don't know what the letters stand for. But I know
non-fungible token.
I was just reading that.
It's non-fungible.
Thank you,
token.
Johnny.
Yes,
I appreciate it.
Non-fungible. We know what that means, right? Everybody know what that means?
Please fill us in. Please.
It basically means that it is. It's like an authenticity of the item that you've bought. It gives it authenticity, meaning if I buy Johnny does a whatever, he takes a picture of the Eiffel Tower and he only makes one copy of it, and he's like, this is for sale digitally. Now this is a digital thing, and I buy it. I bought that NFT. It is authorized. It's one of one. There's no other copy of it. But here's the stupid thing about NFTs. People can just download them all off the internet as a JPEG or whatever, but I own the real one. That's what an NFT is. So
I've heard about this.
Yeah. So they make NFT basketball trading cards where they are actually 5-second clips.
Yep.
So let's say I buy a digital pack of 10 and I get a Kobe Bryant card, and it's him doing his famous whatever turnaround jump shot that he used to, do. And that's what the clip is. And it'll say on there, this is digital card number, 17 of 300. Your NFT is number 17. So it's worth more than, 18 and so forth. Like yours is a little more value to it because it's been marked as the 17th of the NFT. But you can also go on YouTube and find the same clip. You can watch it over and over. I mean, do you guys see this as people are saying it's like the future of how things are going to go? But does it even make sense to you? Like, would you even buy what you call an NFT?
No way.
The NBA is saying these are unique, and I heard this story, listened to quite a bit of it a couple of weeks ago, and the NBA was packaging like you could buy a package of, let's say, 20. You're buying 20, and you don't know what you're getting. You might get the number 1 Kobe. You might get another one that's 1 of 3,000. But supposedly, the whole point of it was that the NBA owns all of those, meaning it's not unique. It's that clip. I guess each clip could be unique the way they edit it, the way they cut it.
You're not wrong. Yes, that's a uniqueness. But again, if I opened up a pack of cards and I get let's just say I get a Jeff Hornacek 3-point jumper, whatever, card 50 of 100, and I can probably watch that clip on YouTube 1,000 times over for free. But because they packaged it in a 4-second clip and put graphics on it and stamped it with whatever, it's unique now. But it's like, it doesn't have any, to me, NFTs have no value because they're digital. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like they're even talking about art. So if Johnny draws something for me, but then Johnny goes off and sells it at art shows, like copies of it. But yet I own the original digital file. I mean, to me, it's dumb as hell. But that's what NFTs are.
You could compare it, though. It's not dissimilar than an original Dolly, for example, that that 100 copies have been made of. So the original.
Yes, but imagine if you own the original Mona Lisa, right, in your house. And anybody can go buy the Mona Lisa on a postcard. They can buy a T-shirt, yada, yada, yada. But there's nothing like the original painting, a physical painting. Like you know what I mean? So if I bought the physical piece of art from Johnny that he drew, I'd be like, this is awesome. I actually own the original. You drew this. This is mine. You can sell it all you want. But now imagine a digital version of it. Doesn't hold the same value. What are you going to keep it on your phone the whole time? You're going to,
and I don't disagree with you. I don't think it's worth the same thing that the original Mona Lisa is worth. Even if you could hire an artist to paint the exact same thing again, even if you could. I mean,
you could, especially nowadays. Oh, for sure. Right. So I don't know. NFTs, man.
I don't disagree with you.
It's wild. I mean, I think it's wild because people are dropping like thousands of you see that NFT of the very first tweet? Do you guys see that one? Somebody paid like $3 million for the very first tweet ever from the CEO of Twitter. Now think about that real quick. It's just a screenshot of his tweet that somebody bought. That's now been stamped as authorized, one of one, NFT digital. I can just go back to that guy's Twitter and take a screenshot myself. But they're gonna say it's not worth the same. Like it's not worth anything.
No, even the one that was purchased was not worth $3 million.
It's not worth anything.
Like you had said something about, the NBA owns those clips. That's like, for example, Tony Hawk recently recorded his final 560 on a half pipe, and he's selling the NFT, right? But
for like 300,000 or something. Yeah.
And if I want it, I can download it on YouTube. But what am I going to do with it? I mean, it's a clip on my computer.
That's the problem with NFTs is we all used to collect baseball cards.
Yeah, I agree. Who cares?
The card feels like it has value to us because it's a physical item. I have it, and maybe not people have this card anymore because maybe they threw their cards and so on and so forth. A physical item. But man, I think NFTs are. I'm not sure how people are thinking that the people are actually saying that this is gonna be the new assets. Like this is how people are gonna obtain their assets now is through NFTs. People have to understand we're never gonna live, at least from my opinion, in an all digital world, because that's just stupid as hell. Like in that regard, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, think about it. I know Johnny's got 2 cents to throw in, but just real quick, say I go to Lafayette's place, right? And he goes, "Hey, check this out. I bought Kobe's jump shot for 30 grand. Look at this." And then as he's trying to pull it up on his computer, I pull it up on my phone on YouTube. "Oh, you mean this one?" I'm like, "You idiot. You paid $30,000 for something that I can watch anytime that I want. It doesn't matter if you own the rights. Doesn't mean that I can't watch it. Doesn't mean that I can't see it. And if I don't see it, who cares? It's not like he was jumping through hoops of fire when he did it, right? It's just a jump shot." Johnny, you brought this up originally. So what did your take on this?
I think it's really interesting. If you think about it as let's think about it as an electronic baseball or basketball card. I mean, there's value there. For me personally, I'm a big Laker fan. If I got Magic Johnson's NFT, I'd probably keep that for a while. I mean, money talks. If someone offers me a bunch of money, I'm going to sell it. But if I got the NFT number 32 of, say, 100, that's going to be more valuable. And I'd definitely be willing to part with it if I wasn't a Lakers fan. You know what I'm saying? Like there's value to it, and it's very unique, and it's very interesting. I mean, just think about all the baseball cards and basketball cards we collected over the years. Every once in a while you get the 1 of 1,000, 1 of 100, or maybe the error cards or something like that. Those have value to it. As kids, the only way to cash out is to trade with each other or go to a card shop and get your 50 cents for what you thought was a grand slam. But here you can make real money from it. It's really interesting. I mean, I saw the LeBron James clip sold for $210,000, I think. And
I saw that, yeah.
Insane to me.
But that's the thing is, like you said, you would part with it. You'd sell it if you own this.
Mm-hmm.
But even if you sell it, you can go back and watch it anytime you want. So is it more of
the value is
an ego thing, or you know what I'm saying? Is it more like, oh, I used to own that, but now I don't, but I can still watch it? I mean, like baseball cards to me will always, in my eyes, will always be worth more. And the reason is they were printed. They stopped printing them.
That's right.
So in order to get your hands on them, you have to go hunt them down. You have to buy these things. They aren't available at all times. video is available at all times.
Right, but it's not. I don't think it's the fact that it's unique in that like nobody's ever seen this clip, because every game has thousands of cameras there, so it's not like it's unique. But since they tagged it with an electronic serial number, it is unique. And with baseball
that's
cards,
exactly what it is. Yes.
right. But with baseball cards, it's a little more complicated because you don't know exactly how many were made, and then on top of that, you have to grade them, and then to find the value there. Like baseball cards, I'm pretty sure my 88 Topps set is worth $9 now. It's
I'll
probably
give you $9
down.
right now for it. Where's that?
Yeah.
Wait,
Let me
so
see
gone
the
down. I'll
cash.
give you $6. Give you $6.
Let me see the cash. Hurry up.
But Johnny's right. So the value of NFTs is not necessarily it's how the clip is packaged. Number one, right? Because it's gonna be different than what you can see on YouTube. They're gonna try to package it all fancy, like it's gonna be very virtual in the sense of the card's gonna flip around. It's gonna be some cool, whatever clip it is, and it's but it's all NFTs. I think the selling point of NFTs is the authenticity of how many are released, right? So if I get we're going to use cards because cards are the easiest. Sports cards are the easiest. If I get a Jose Canseco one and it's, only 1 of 100 and I get number 8, that's going to be worth something to somebody. Oh, when he released 100 of these. Oh, shit, I want that one.
Well, was it his number?
What do you mean his number?
Canseco's number. Because that I think has to... Like so if you had that Canseco card, but it was a 33 of 100, then you can expect that to be worth more. And then you don't have to worry about grading it gem mint 9, gem mint 10, or whatever.
And that's another thing. And that's the thing I keep hearing about, because people have even brought up how they're going to do comic books like this in the future, where they're going to have, you can buy digital number Batman 1000 as many as you want, but there's going to be the special edition version of it. It's NFTs, and then you can buy them, and they don't need to be graded, like you said, because of course they're always in mint condition. They're digital. And somebody's going to come around and go, you know what? I want to own the first number 1 authorized NFT of Batman, 2000.
That's just...
But I think to me, it holds no value, because
I agree.
Even today, I buy comic books still, and to me, they don't hold value. I just throw them on a pile and be like, they're just magazines at this point. I'd like to look at them and the art, and because nowadays, if you own Superman number 1, whatever, Action Comics number 1, it's worth $500,000, right? Because it's from 1955 or whatever. That's the value of it, how old it is, and of course its first appearance. If I own this in a digital form, it's not worth a shit, because it doesn't hold that value of it's from 1955. It's in mint condition. This is the legit first appearance printed of Superman. A digital copy doesn't hold that value, but somebody will come around and pay, $10,000 for it.
And because that somebody did, somebody else will then pay $12,000 for it.
And that is exactly how even things like Bitcoin work. Where
it's kind of like the emperor's new clothes, right? He paid a shit ton of money for clothes that didn't exist, and he's walking around. And the thing is, nobody's going to tell him he's a fool. So the guy who bought that thing for $12,000, no one's going to say, "Hey man, you're a fool. I'm going to one up you. I'm going to buy it for $15,000." And then the next guy is going to, because they don't want to be in a group of fools. Like I see him as a group of fools, because I see it as just like Bitcoin. It's making something of nothing. But I'm not going to lie. I mean, because I do art. If somebody wanted to pay me for an NFT for my artwork, you can have it.
You would.
Of course you would. Of course, absolutely.
Of course. But, yeah, of course you would.
There's no value. Like Lafayette said, I don't see value in it at all. Even if you were to say, oh, here's a unique digital stamp. Now it's on these separate servers. In order to get it, you have to bring it into one. I'm like, I don't care, man. That's like if Hugh owns a copy of the game and then I own a copy of the game. I mean, and he tells me, oh, but this is the first one I was ever printed. Oh, cool. That actually might be worth something because it's physical. It's physical. Right. It's not digital. So I don't see value in things that are digital.
I'll tell you what, because I paid $10 and I think I get 3 clips, and I don't even have them yet. So I think I paid $10 to get in line to maybe have them. I'm not sure.
No, you're right. They're out. They're not out right now. I mean, they get sold out. The first round sold out.
If I get Jordan Duncan from the line and it's number 23 out of 100, I'll come back on the podcast, and then you guys can go fuck yourselves with your theories.
But
remember, you still have that dolphin tattoo, so it doesn't matter to us.
Lafayette just
so
said
you're telling me if I'm a millionaire,
doesn't matter.
Damn it! I tell you anything.
Lafayette just said it though.
Doesn't matter.
Like he just said, I've been lying, and they've already sold out. That tells you right away it's already going to be worth something to somebody.
Yes, that's just it,
100%. Because of the word sold out.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
I mean, you could be sold out on Beanie Babies, or that's a bad example because those weren't worth something.
But
you could be sold out on, you could be sold out on anything, and the word sold out. The word sold out makes it more valuable to people.
And I believe that people like you. So you made a good point. So Johnny also brings up a good point about because you bought the Top Shots, right? That's what you're in line for.
Yeah.
And the Top Shots are the digital NBA basketball cards. And good point. They sold out, so now they're in demand, and that's why people will pay top dollar for them. And the thing about NFTs, if you hear about NFTs, they say how it's basically, people that have money to burn are going to be the ones basically making this stuff inflate. It's going to inflate like crazy because they're going to buy it, and they're going to buy it. And they're going to buy it for
inflation.
And they're going to buy it for the reason Carlos brought up. Oh, Johnny has this card. Oh, wait, somebody paid him how much for it? I'll pay this much for it. Yeah, oh, now I have I have number one or the number two authenticated card. You know what I mean? And that's just how it goes.
It's almost fear-based. It's almost like, it's got to be worth something. I've got the money. I'll buy it.
It's FOMO. Yeah,
it's
fear
FOMO.
of missing out. Yeah,
absolutely.
It's fear of missing out. And
like if I was in Johnny's shoes and I got whatever cards I got of these, man, I'd be super excited if I got anything that's worth obviously more than my $10. I got like thousands of dollars. Oh yeah, I'm gonna sell them, right?
And the thing I've heard about the Top Shots is it doesn't even matter the player you get; it matters the number you have in the set. So if Johnny gets a flipping, I don't know who's a player nowadays that is just I don't know. Let's say Blake Griffin, kind of like he used to be a star, now he's just a bench player on the Nets. Let's say Johnny gets number 3, like number 3 of 300. That's gonna be worth something. Because he got number 3 of 300, if he ended up getting 295, might be worth a little bit. But it really does come down to that when it comes to NFTs. Comes down to what number did you get in the authenticity of, the serial number and so forth. That's really where the money's at.
And the NBA is being smart about it by not telling you what you're getting. They're just selling you a package. So you're basically buying it because I might get number 2.
Well, you're buying it like you would a pack of baseball cards.
Right. I might. Right.
Exactly. You don't know what you're
getting. That's right. That's exactly right.
Johnny just is a dummy that knows you're not getting any gum with that pack, Johnny. 0. You idiot. Scorecards had gum in them.
Come on.
What was the score? It was a Dunruss.
Wax pack. No, Tops,
I think it was Tops. And I think
you
would lose a molar every 10 minutes.
Oh man, those things cracked.
For sure.
And then when you bit them to them, they just more and more pieces, crumbled in your mouth, and you just kept on trying to bite. And we were so stupid.
It was so much better.
You could chew on them.
It was so much better just chewing on the card itself.
When it's funny so the company, of course, DC Comics, they released a press release that none of their artists are allowed to sell NFTs. If you're under contract with DC Comics, you're not allowed to sell NFTs
because we own you and we want the money.
I mean, that's why, because they own all the art that they draw. They're like, you ain't making money off of us. We're gonna make money our damn selves off of you, which is totally messed up.
Right. It's really interesting too, because the NBA isn't going to cash out. Where you make the money is you go to a marketplace and you sell your NFT.
Yeah.
So like the NBA didn't make $200,000 off of LeBron's clip.
No. But they made a hell of a lot of money off people like yourself that are waiting in line for a digital queue because they already sold through the first, 5,000 packs or whatever it is. Yeah. So I mean, that's where their money is. It's like Topps, right? Topps doesn't make money off of the era card they printed. They just make money off the 1 million packs they sold.
That's
when we were kids, how many packs of cards we were running to the store to buy? Hey, I'm gonna get 5 today. Then 3 days later, I get 2 more. Right. And all of a sudden, you go back into the little corner store and they're just all I have left is the Dunruss. Oh, fuck off! And what's funny is the little corner store never sold Upper Deck. You had to go to the special store, the special sports card store for the pretty cards.
Yeah, I remember that. It was like if you wanted Upper Deck, you gotta travel some dangerous roads.
Yeah,
like
and
stoplights that don't quite work.
Yeah,
and
Upper
like
Decks were the NFTs of sports cards. You know why? Because they had the little hologram foil on them, and they were really, really nice glossy cards, and the pictures were very high quality. And I think the number one of all time is the Griffey, right? That's the number one is the error, the Griffey error card. Yeah.
No, it's the Ripken, Billy Ripken card.
Well, was that Upper Deck or was that? I thought that was like Score or Dunruss or some of the bottom of the back.
He didn't have an error card.
Yeah, he did. Remember the error card for Griffey was that he was backwards. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, you're right. He was backwards, and he was a number one card. He was card number one.
Yes, and he was like sitting in the dugout or something like that.
No, he was just holding the bat like this.
Well, that's all it was. Yeah, and it's backwards. Yeah, that was the big card.
Upper Deck was doing errors on purpose because they were new and they wanted people to
want attention. Yeah. Like, but you remember what Bill Ripken's
Gary
card
Sheffield?
Was,
do you remember Gary Sheffield's error card?
I don't know if it's Sheffield or Ripken on the bottom of their bat.
That was Billy Ripken.
Yeah,
it said "fuck face" on.
Yeah, it's "fuck face" on the bottom of the.
That wasn't.
They printed it like that. Yeah,
yeah, but Gary Sheffield. That wasn't an Upper Deck though. That was a Dunruss.
No, that was Dunruss. Yeah,
and then but Upper Deck had Gary Sheffield.
Yeah,
it showed the position in the upper right hand corner that they played. It was shortstop and it was upside down. The S's were upside down.
Oh, that's right.
You really had to look to see if I had that card. You really had to look to see if it was really upside down S's. I mean, they did stuff intentionally just to up the value.
Of course, they want to up the value of their prices. I mean, that's another thing that somebody brought up on a show I was listening to. You'll never get an error NFT, but maybe Johnny will open a pack and go, "Oh, look, it's Anthony Davis," and it's actually Dan Marley. But it says Anthony Davis, and he's like, "How is this possible? It's an error." And then Johnny will be rich. He'll come and laugh at us on the show. You guys are stupid. I'm rich now, and we'll go. You have a dolphin tattoo.
I'm sorry. I zoned out. I was just thinking about all the money I would have.
All the damn Marley money you're gonna spend.
All the Marley money.
Do you call it Thunder dollars? Yeah. Nice. All right. Well, that's our show. Thanks for coming on to Nerds Talking the podcast and listening to our shenanigans about sex on film, NFTs, tattoos. I think that's what we covered, right? Pretty much. That's all of it. So
we recorded a promo. And you know who didn't record a promo was Lafayette.
I did not. Well, I kind of did and didn't. I did the whole movie voice promo. So
that doesn't count.
In a world
being Hugh.
No, I gave him that idea. What are you talking about?
No, that was his original voice because right at the beginning of the episode, they're like, "Oh, that Hugh's got."
Well, because Hugh came on and did that, he was like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah, with your sexy voice, you son of a bitch.
He was trying.
Wow. No, my mine would just be.
That's all I had to do, Johnny.
Look, this is okay. I'm gonna do my promo before we get out of the promo before we get out of here.
You're
okay.
Up.
This is how the promo would go. Like, hey guys, what's up? You should listen to. Let's get it on film with Laura and Kate. Hey, I like sex. You like sex? Anyway. So join me.
Oh.
That's it.
Oh my. That's
the best one.
I'm gonna sell that as an NFT, buddy. Boom boom.
Oh, that'd be my promo. All right, so thanks for listening to us here on the Talking Podcast. That's our show. Thanks for tuning in. For Carlos, as he's sitting there crying.
Bye-bye.
And from Humicord and Johnny Lee.
See ya.
Johnny, damn you, do it.
See ya.
Say it in your goddamn native tongue.
How come you didn't get racist when the other girls were on here, huh?
Yes,
I don't know what they were white, so they speak English.
Wow.
Holy wow. You cut me deep. Oh my.
I mean, if not one get the joke yet, for God's
that's
sake.
not a valuable NFT. I don't know what it is. I'm gonna sell that shit.
Yeah. My tears. How much are my tears worth?
I mean, well, they're not worth anything. There's plenty of them. You can't just freaking one of a million.
Good point.
The joke is that Johnny only speaks one damn language, people. Okay, get over it. Anyway, thanks for tuning in to Nerds Talking the Podcast. See you guys next time.
Nerds Talking, brand new episodes every Friday on Nerd Reviews Network. Subscribe and turn on your notifications so you don't miss out. Ka-chow.